Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Visit Fort Worth are proud to team up this year to honor the best and brightest in Texas high school football coaches. You may remember we've been handing out the Visit Fort Worth Coach of the Week award all throughout the regular season. Well, the season is over, and we have named the 2019 Visit Fort Worth Coach of the Year, and we're going out east. Let's go to the hotline, and let's bring in the 2019 Visit Fort Worth Coach of the Year. It's Paul Pewitt coach Triston Abron. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you all doing?
We're doing excellent. How are things in Omaha? Have they slowed down a little bit since the craziness of December?
It has slowed down just a little bit, but once it's time to slow down, once that season's over, you're so focused on the next season that you start picking that momentum back up and getting the kids focused on the seasons that are coming up.
Well, I want to know a little bit about how you found out about the award. There's more than 1,400 Texas high school football coaches across the state, and you have been named the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Visit Fort Worth Coach of the Year. How'd you find out, and what was your reaction?
I'm going to be honest with you. I received an email from Rudy, and he was telling me that he wanted to be the first to congratulate me on being named the Texas high school Coach of the Year, Football Coach of the Year, and I'm like, I don't know if you have the right email address because surely that's not me. But as I read through the email and to be quite honest with you, it took me a while to get through the email because this is extremely humbling. As you stated, all these coaches in the state of Texas, and there are a ton of coaches that obviously are doing a fantastic job of leading young men and young women in the direction in which they should be going, and just trying to get the best out of these kiddos that we're around each day. It's extremely humbling, and man, I'm really at a loss of words to even be considered in the runnings for this, let alone win the award.
Well, we talked about it a little bit before the state championship game. Pretty famously, we did not think you guys were going to be as good as you were. We had you guys picked fourth in your own district, and all you guys did was run to a state championship game. I'm interested. You've mentioned over and over about how you knew this team had what it takes to make a deep run. What was it about this team that made this team so special?
I think it was really more of the kids just buying into, what we were trying to sell to them and what we were trying to accomplish as coaches. We knew that we had some talent, and obviously it takes talent to number one, get into the playoffs, and number two, to win, a game, to be quite honest with you, in the playoffs. But, we knew we had some talent, and it was really just trying to get the kids to buy into what we were, wanting them to believe in, and in which that was, hey, you have an opportunity to go play for the state championship. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't feel like we were the most athletic team several times when we stepped on the field this season, and I don't believe that we were the fastest in all those things, but I do believe that our kids just played with grit, and they played with passion, and they played fast. I think that if you can brainwash someone and get them to believe that they can do something that maybe they don't even know that they're not doing it, then some great things can happen. And I think that's kind of what happened a little bit with our kids this year.
You guys, of course, run to the state championship game, and I mean run to the state championship game. You guys had one of the most fearsome rushing attacks in the state, nearly 400 yards per game. I'm always interested in talking with coaches who run something like the slot T, where it's not an offense that's necessarily built on making superstars. It is an offense that is more everybody does their job, and we're going to go 5 yards and we're going to do it again. So how do you get kids to buy in on a system that maybe is not predicated on getting guys headlines?
Well, it really it's one of those things where with today's offenses and today's football, it's you got to get kids to believe that we're going to do whatever we feel like we need to do to be successful. And the reason I present it that way is because with the spread and I hate to sound mean or rude, but a little bit more about me style offense and the spread. it a lot of kids want to be a part of that. And to be quite honest with you, in my mind, at a school our size, it's difficult for me to really stand firm on what I believe in, which is playing great defense, and allowing the offense to do whatever they need to do to help the defense be great, which is, in my opinion, also what helps the offense be great. But if we're out here running that offense, and that guy that just covered that go route from the opposing offense is now the guy that we call our guy, and we're about to try to throw him to go route. I just don't think that you're going to be successful, as often as we were able to be successful running the style of offense that we run here. So it really is a thing that as far as coaches go, we just tried to sell to our kids, hey, let's understand that this is a team thing, and we can all be successful if we'll all be unselfish, and it just worked out that way.
We're talking with Triston Abron, the 2019 Visit Fort Worth Coach of the Year here on Texas Football Today. Get involved with the conversation, #TF Today. I say that the offense maybe is not predicated on creating superstars, but it sure seemed like you had one, in at least one in LeJathan Allen, a guy who I think people are gonna know that name for some of the incredible plays he had in the state championship game, and obviously the driving force behind your offense this year. I'm interested. You're the guy who gets to see him every day in practice. I can look at the numbers and I can tell you he's great, but as the guy who's seen him every day, what is it about LeJathan Allen that makes him special?
Man, he's a worker. That kid, first of all, he can squat and clean the weight room. He can. He's a ball of muscle, and talk about playing with passion and working that way. He just watching him from the last season to this season, and just the steps that he made to get to where he got to, and to accomplish some of these things that he accomplished. It has been really cool and fun to watch. And better than that, he's a great young man. He's one of those kids that he'll just randomly show up at my house, and I got to run him out of my house because he wants to come play the PlayStation. He's just a great kid. But with that, being said, he's a very coachable kid. It was one of those type of situations where on the defensive side of the ball, he understood what we were trying to do defensively, and even stepped in and helped, explain it to some other kiddos at times whenever obviously we weren't doing a very good job of communicating to them as coaches. And he did the same thing on the offensive side of the ball. Battled some injuries through the season, and by his numbers, you wouldn't even know it if I didn't tell you. But he obviously was, as you stated, a driving force to our offense and to our defense. And I thought it was really cool, the latest award that he received, which was the Built For It Tough 3A Player of the Year. And I think he was very well deserving of that award.
Now, you're an East Texas guy. You're from Sulphur Springs. So you coaching out there in East Texas, you understand that football's a little different out there, and the community's aspect of football is a little bit different out there. I'm interested from your perspective. Obviously, the whole Omaha Naples community rallied around you guys as you guys were making that run to a state championship. What did it mean for you to be able to not only accomplish this, to get to a state championship game, but to do it in East Texas? What did that mean to you?
Man, it's really it's a surreal experience. It's one of those things where I think that you talk about Southern hospitality, Southern living, and all those types of things. That is truly East Texas. And whenever one group within a community, or I guess maybe a better way of putting it is one group of the cult of East Texas communities is being successful, then everyone else, they like to encourage and congratulate and be a part of it as well. So whenever we were making our run and doing the things that we were doing, the support that came from, as you stated, Naples, Omaha, Marietta, this area, our rival, Dangerfield. I mean, just the support that we were receiving from this area that just bled into Longview. Heck, I have some newspaper articles from Gilmer. I mean, it's nuts, just the support that and the recognition that started to spread out through this part of East Texas, and the fan support, and just everything that went on with this, and it's truly a blessing to be able to be a part of that, and to honestly to see those kids to get to experience that. That was really the big thing is those guys, man. They ride, getting a police escort at different times to different towns, and I mean, it was really neat. And my mindset is, you never know what direction life is going to take you, and if this is one of those opportunities that can inspire a young man to make good decisions, to be able to experience these types of things even more, than in my mind, we've accomplished the goal.
And finally, Coach, the Visit Fort Worth Coach of the Year award does come with a prize. You are going to get a weekend getaway in Fort Worth. A fabulous package put together by the folks at Visit Fort Worth. So I'm interested in the real winner in this, which is Mrs. Abron, in her reaction to this award, and really the reward that she gets for being able to put up with a football coach husband.
You are exactly right. It's for the people that don't know it. The wives of football coaches, heck, the spouses of any coach, at some point in time within the school year, those spouses are single parents, and for for my wife to go along with us on this ride, and man, she missed one game, and it was her first game missing that I was coaching in 16 years. So it was the first time she missed a game. Well, the reason she missed the game is because we actually had a baby during that time, and she was doing everything she could to figure out a way to get out of the hospital and get to the game, and all those types of things. And it was actually the first round playoff game, so it was a big deal to her, and it was really a big deal to me, but for her to be able to get to enjoy this award with me, and the hospitality that you all are showing is really neat. And I know that she is very appreciative, and I am definitely very appreciative. And even my statement to her since the season's been over is sweetheart, we're going to find time, and it's just going to be you and I. We're going to leave the kids, and we're going to just enjoy each other, because there's so much time that's spent away from one another, in order to try to be successful, and to try to inspire young men and women to be as great as they can be.
He's Triston Abron. He is the Visit Fort Worth 2019 Coach of the Year. Follow him on Twitter at Triston Abron. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations again, not only on this award, but a fantastic 2019. And enjoy that VIP trip to Fort Worth.
I will do for sure. Thank you so much.